Hi FlossTube, how are you? This is Robin. Welcome to my channel, Lady Robins. And I'm also Lady Robins on Instagram, so you can follow me both places if you would like to. Welcome to FlossTube number 63 for me. Pretty cool, right? And today is Wednesday, the 10th of February. I'm a day late filming. Sorry, subscribers. It just wasn't in the timetable yesterday. I was able to film an unboxing of my latest stitching box from the Black Needle Society, so I did post that yesterday. So hopefully, if you're interested in that sort of thing, you can see that previous video. But for today, we're gonna play catch up. I have to leave for work in about an hour and 20 minutes, so we're gonna go lightning speed, okay? Lightning speed it is for us today. Let's get right into it, show you my mugs, show you the stitching, okay? And today we have two mugs because I'm a double-fisted drinker. Is that what they used to say? Something like that. Okay, stop being silly. I am drinking out of my Denver mug, and in this lovely mug, we have coffee. Coffee with a little cream. Yay! My other mug holds my breakfast. So, we are in this lovely mug for my breakfast smoothie, and this is Sydney. I have a sneaking suspicion I used this one last week. What happens is when you empty the dishwasher, all of the mugs you just used end up in the front, and so you have to kind of paw through to get to ones you haven't used recently. That's okay. I'm here for all the You Are Here mugs. I love them. They hold 14 ounces, which is the perfect size for me. Oh, you guys, I'm just going to take a breath. I'm going to take a drink of my smoothie, and we are going to dive into the stitching. All right. Like I said, I got to leave for work, and I'm feeling a little guilty that I didn't get this filmed yesterday, so I'm trying to make up for time, and because of that, I'm feeling a little anxious and a little revved up, so forgive me. All right. What did I stitch on? I stitched on 4 whips this week, and I can hardly wait to show you my progress on these whips. I stitched on Harbor Haven, the Waffle Lot SAL piece, I stitched on Playing with Jacks, and I stitched on my Acorn Gatherings cute piece by Frony Ritter. So 4 pieces. Pretty good, right? And I actually had one day where I did not stitch at all, and a second day where I had to do some frogging, and I think I maybe put in 3 stitches. So really I only had about 5 days of stitching this week. And I'll give you a life update at the end if I have time, fill you in on my week, but I want to make sure we hit the stitching because that's really what we're here for, right? It's on top. Let's start with it, shall we? I have a finish. Well, a partial finish, right? This is Harbor Haven Part 1, and it is completely done, except for the back stitching, which I'm going to do when all 12 pieces have been completed. I'm afraid that with my manhandling of it, because I stitch in hand, that I might distort the fabric and mess up the back stitching and the long stitches and all that. So I'm not going to do that. I am declaring this Part 1 a finish. So I'm declaring I have an FO, a finished object, on Harbor Haven SAL Part 1. Isn't that pretty? This is done on a 32 count sea foam colored linen by R&R Reproductions. It's a little floppy, but I'm making it work because this color I thought was perfect. So there we have it. What do you think? I love it. I will tell you, I did change the watercolors. I've mentioned that previously. So if you're interested in my color conversion for the water, I can let you know. But everything else is stitched in the called for DMC. And I love it. My husband is thrilled. He loves this piece. He can't wait for me to hurry up and finish. And I told him last night, hey, I have a finish on part 1. And he goes, well, how many parts are there again? I'm like, there's 12. And he goes, oh, you're 8% done. Like, I'll take that. That's a win. I'll take that for the win. 8% for the win, right? So that was my first whip that I worked on this week. So, well, it was actually the first thing I worked on the week and the last thing I worked on during the week. So that felt really good. Let's see here. Let's do this one. This is in my Jane Eyre bag, which I got in my Black Studio box, Black Needle Society box for Date With Your Stitching. And in here is the project that came in that box. So it's by Hands On Design by Kathy Haberman. It's the Love You a Waffle Lot. So this is the Waffle Lot SAL that Michelle Bendy and I are hosting together. So if you have purchased that box and you've got this pattern, because it's exclusive to the box, sorry guys if you didn't get the box, here is my progress on that. And I did post it on Instagram, so this might be a repeat for some of you if you follow me in both places. But I got that yummy border completely finished, and I don't usually stitch at work, but I'm thinking I might throw this in my bag and work on this at work today during my break, because I'm dying to work on that beautiful banner that says waffle. So I might bring that to work. Why not, right? Yeah. And then this needle minder, oh my gosh, the Conversation Heart needle minder that was also in the box that came from the Black Needle Society. I'm not a big needle minder user. I love them. I've got a board right over here that's filled with them. Because I stitch in hand, I find that they drag the fabric down, but this one is so cute. I am willing to put up with the fabric being slightly weighted to one edge, because I just think it's fantastic. I love those Conversation Hearts. I know they're not all that great to eat, but I love reading them, and I love making, putting a few in a row and making a little message. I'm a dork, but that's okay, right? We all get to be who we are, right? Okay, now, the next thing, this should be, I can look in the bag. I don't know why I'm looking at my chart. This is my Acorn Gatherings piece. So, not this weekend, but the weekend before, Acorns and Threads had a virtual gathering, and there were almost 200 people there, and we got this exclusive chart by Frony Ritter, and she was actually on our Zoom meeting, so that was pretty cool. So anyway, the fun thing about this chart is there are 25 acorns on it, symbolizing the 25 years that the shop Acorns and Threads has been in business. So without further ado, let's see where I got to on this one. All right, so what I concentrated on this time was working on one of the two squirrels. And so I got a pretty good almost finish on that first squirrel, and I'm just starting on the second one. They did give you, I don't know if you could see, and I might have mentioned this last time, they did give you the ability to put a mask on your squirrels. I decided not to do that. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to remember that 2020 was the year of the mask without putting that on my squirrels. Well, that's really cute design, and I like that they gave you that option. I think maybe if I decide I have to have a squirrel with a mask on it, maybe I'll make it on like a 40 count 1/1 and do maybe a little scissor fob. But the big piece, I didn't want it on my piece. It just was just like, I don't want to say it's triggering, because I don't really feel like I'm all that triggered by it. I mean, it's just something that we're living through and we're going through, but at the same time, I didn't want that to be what I think of when I look at my piece from my first Acorn Gatherings. I want to remember the 25 acorns symbolizes the 25 years the shop's been around. That's what I wanted to celebrate in my piece. So that's why I'm making that decision. All right. So the next thing that I stitched on, see, like I said, I am in hyperdrive today. The next thing I stitched on was my Playing with Jacks piece by the Cricut Collection. And we've seen this a number of times. And this is also a SAL. This, so if you're interested, you can follow it on Instagram. Playing with Jacks, J-A-X, SAL is the hashtag. So you can see lots of people have made really excellent progress. And this is one of my oldest whips. I started this in 2019, so I really need to finish this up. But I did have a semi, finish. I finally, as I fumble around like I always do, I have a finish on this pumpkin. I just need to put his little stem on him. So when I started this, and let's see, I think I worked on this 2 days. Yeah, I worked on this on 2 days. I consulted my calendar. I was about up to, I think right up to here. Now I had all this done, but I needed to do all of this along the side. And I did it, and then I started on the last pumpkin, the kind of black and white one. I am loving my progress on this guy. And then I haven't quite decided about the border. I've seen a number of people that instead of I don't know if you can see that, instead of doing these leaves, they just did acorns all the way across the bottom. And I think I might do that. The leaves don't really do it for me, but the acorns do. So I might just do 5 acorns across the bottom. I think that would be super, super cute. So that's where I am on Playing with Jacks. And those two, what's those two? Playing with Jacks and Harbor Haven are the 2 called for pieces in WIPGO this month. Harbor Haven is 4 and Playing with Jacks is 20. So 4 and 20. I'm singing the song in my head, are you? 4 and 20 blackbirds baked in a pie. Every time I think about those numbers, that comes springing to mind. I just can't help it. All those old nursery rhymes, I keep thinking, that wasn't a thing when my son was in school. I don't think he even knows half of those. I think those might be dying out with my generation. Okay, so that is where I got to on my stitching this week. So, what are my plans for next week? Plan's pretty simple. I am going to keep stitching on Playing with Jacks. I'm going to start part 2 on Harbor Haven, and can you stand it? I'm going to have 2 starts. I don't need 2 starts. In fact, I might even have 3 starts. I am getting so tempted by the Barbara Anna Dreaming Girl SAL. I keep seeing people stitching on that, and then their skin color conversions or the conversions on the hair. That piece is so pretty. It is absolutely calling my names. I go on Instagram and I follow the hashtag. I might give in. I might give in and join that SAL. But for sure this week, I'm going to have 2 starts. The first one on the 13th, which is Saturday, I'm going to start the Stitching Book Club's Sense and Sensibility SAL. And I'm already listening to Sense and Sensibility on Audible. My reader is Rosamund Pike, for those that are interested. And she's doing a fantastic job on being our narrator. So I'm starting that on Saturday. On Monday the 15th is my birthday. Da-da-da! I'm getting a year older. And and I am inviting you to stitch along with me on an owl forest piece. And let's see if I can grab mine. I've showed this a couple of times. I'm not going to spend, hours and hours pulling it out of the box for you, but I am starting this one. This is my owl forest embroidery piece. So join me stitching on Monday the 15th start, or if you have an existing owl forest piece, break it out and stitch with me on Monday on owl forest. I've decided our hashtag for Instagram. I've shortened it. I went crazy last week and was like, I had the longest hashtag known to modern man. Let's just call it Robin's Owl Forest SAL. ROBYNS and then Owl Forest SAL. That's going to be our hashtag. So stitch on an owl forest piece. If you have not purchased an owl forest piece and you want to join along, go and Google owl forest embroidery. Get on their website. They have a huge section of freebies, including an amazing Wizard of Oz piece, a piece that is, I think, 100 owls. There's some cute ones that are little Easter eggs. They've got tons of really cute things that you can easily start. Get up from stash. Don't worry if you don't have the called for floss. Find something close enough and just go with it. But feel free. Join me on my birthday. Robin's Owl Forest SAL. Yeah. Join in. Let's have fun, and we can check in on Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on when I film, if we can check in on how our progress is. So let's do that, okay? I would just love you all to be stitching on Owl Forest on my birthday. Sound good? Okay, let's do that. Okay, what else did I want to talk about? You guys, I got to tell you, last week I had some of the nicest comments on my videos, and I want to thank you for commenting, and I hope I didn't miss anybody. I tried to respond to all of them, and I got a really great question from, I'm checking my computer, from Tina, and Tina was just wondering, how do I know where to start my piece? And I just thought, in case anybody has the same question, and also in case my writing to Tina wasn't clear, I thought I would just take half a moment or two to show you my process in figuring out how to start a piece. Okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a piece of linen. Okay? Ooh, this is so crinkly. I'm so sorry. All right. So let's pretend I'm going to stitch on this, okay? I've got a chart and I'm all ready to go. So the first thing I do after I open my linen is I open up a program called X Stitch Calc, C-A-L-K. And if you give me half a second, I'm trying to find it here. It is a free iPad program. The icon looks like that. It's X Stitch Calc. Okay? And when I click on it, what it does is it helps me calculate how big a piece of fabric I need. So we're just gonna play pretend for half a second. Pretend your pattern is 125 wide, which is the first thing I'm putting in, by, I don't know, 98 high. So 125 wide by 98 high, okay? Next thing I do is I tell it, I'm going to stitch this guy on 32 count fabric. I'm going to stitch a 2/2, and I like a good 3-inch border to give me enough room for framing, okay? So I fill all that in, and my calculator tells me I need a piece of fabric that's 14 by 13. Now, if you're like, what the what? You can also, obviously decrease your border. Now, if I just want to know how much fabric I need for the pattern design, take out the border thing. And it tells you it's going to stitch up to be 8 by 7. Okay? But like I said, I usually stitch with a 3-inch border. So I just want to make sure I got plenty of room. Okay? So I just use the calculator. There are tons of people on YouTube that you can Google that will show you how to do that math if you want to learn how to do it, which is great. If you want to learn how to do the math, perfect. Okay, so now I got my fabric, right? This thing, I will, of course, quickly lay it on my cutting mat here just to verify that it is absolutely going to fit the 14 by 13, and it will. And then, you guys, I am a top left starter. So I just take my ruler, right? And I just measure, as I said, I'm going to leave myself a 3-inch border. I just measure down from the top, so there's 3 inches. I measure 3 inches from the edge. I'm fumbling. And that is the top left corner of your chart. And then from there, if most charts don't start in that top left corner, they're like 4 down and 5 in. And so then if that's what it is, I measure, I count 4 down and 5 in, and that's where I start. There are tons of other ways that you can start your piece. I know for a long time I was a center starter where I would just, a lot of designers put marks to show you where the center of the piece is, and I would start in the center and bloom out from there. That works too, but you do need to at least do the math. You've got to make sure that your fabric is big enough before you do a center start and then are disappointed because you don't have enough fabric. So I thought I would just quickly answer that on screen in case people were curious and interested, and that's how I do it. Anyway, I hope that helps. I hope that helps somebody, and I hope it makes sense. If it doesn't, if I completely messed you up, send me a message in the comments, and I will try to answer and clear up any confusion. Alrighty. What else do I want to tell you guys today? We've talked about my whips, my 2 planned new starts, possibly 3, because I'm getting all curious about that Barbara Anna Dreaming Girl SAL. That's really calling my name, but maybe I can, tamp myself down. I did buy 2 charts at the Acorn Gathering. We know that I love Bent Creek. I also love hands-on design, and so I picked up the latest hands-on design Hop On In chart. I have since contacted Acorns and said, I think I need those buttons. And then they said, did you know we can get the finishing fabric? And I'm like, no, I did not know that, but include that with the buttons when you get them. So I did purchase that, and I just should have told them kit the whole darn thing up, because then I'm like, oh, I need those sulkies, because she charted it in sulkies. And then the other thing I purchased is from Heartstring Samplery. Beth Twist is the designer. She's doing a series called Sunday Stitches, and this is based on the hymn Amazing Grace. And I'm going to stitch this for my mom. So those are my that's my haul. I'm really looking forward to stitching Amazing Grace for my mom. My mom and I, 100 years ago when I was in high school, you guys will, probably just roll your eyes, but that's okay. I'm going to tell you this. My mom, my sister, and I went in Seattle. when we had the King Dome. Remember hearing about the King Dome? If you're not from this area, that reference might not mean anything to you, but it's a huge domed stadium, which has since been, you know, demolished and new stadiums are in its place. But anyway, back in the late 70s, early 80s, the Billy Graham Crusade came to Seattle, and being members of the church choir, they put a call out for people to come and sing in their choir. And so Mom, my sister, and I, we were all part of the Billy Graham Crusade choir, and we sang Amazing Grace together. And so I can sing this hymn backwards and forwards. I don't need to look at the music. I know those verses because we were there for, I think it went on for 5 days. And so I sang that hymn, all 4 verses, 5 days in a row, including practices. That thing is forever, ever etched in my memory. So I think Mom will adore having this stitched up for her. So that's going to be a new start. Probably March, maybe April. So there we go. Anything else? I think you guys, I think this is a short one. I got to get to work. I think that'll do it. Happy Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is on Sunday. I hope you have a great Valentine's Day, and I will see you next time. I hope you have a great week. I said that already. Oh, I was going to do a little tiny life update at the end. If you are done, feel free. Peace out. I'll just tell you a little bit about what's going on here in our household, and then I really will be done. I have a celebration. I was able to secure spots, and my parents have now had their first COVID-19 vaccination, and in 4 weeks they will go back and get the second dose. They got the Moderna. So I was very, very thankful. I was very nervous about this whole thing. I was sure it was going to be a nightmare. I see those lines on the news, and, you know, cars for days. Drove up, found a place to park right by the door. My dad has some mobility issues. He was able to do it. He was able to walk in. The people there couldn't have been kinder. One gentleman saw my dad struggling to walk and offered him a wheelchair. My dad is far too proud to take a wheelchair, and he's like, nope, I can do it. So my dad persevered. They got their shots. So there's that. The other thing is I had myself a little medical issue. So I am on a liquid diet. So there you have it. Yep. I had a little bowel obstruction, which was incredibly painful, and that caused for all sorts of, you know, concern and alarm around here. Again, I got medical attention, do a liquid diet, see if that resolves it. It seems to be working, so that is another little celebration we're gonna hold on to, because that means I don't have to have surgery, which I don't have time for surgery. How about you? Nah, we don't have time for that. We've got stitching to do. I've got to stitch up Amazing Grace for my mom. I don't have time to be under anesthesia and feel yucky. So, 2 celebrations this week. COVID shots, no surgery for me. All right, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in, for being loyal subscribers. If you're new here, I forgot to say it at the beginning. Thank you for coming here and hanging out with me and hearing about cross stitch. I am thrilled to have all of you here. I will see you next week. You guys have a great rest of your week. Have a good weekend. All right. Stitch happy, my friends. Bye.